Right, you join us in our rapidly diminishing Land Rover Defender 90. So we have removed the seats and we will do a video for that, both the base and the rears. We have removed the side panels and we've done a video for that, and I'll put the link there. And this is what you're left with. So we are going to take up this boot floor. We're going to have a look at some interesting bits and pieces underneath. We are going to remove this cross member and we're going to remove this aluminium piece. We're looking at the option of making a flat boot floor for the Defender, and we were inspired by this by Rob, and I will put the picture of Rob's interior of his Defender on the screen now. So we're just looking what's involved with it, and we're also looking how the car's made. We like to understand the technology we got in the Defender, and we are a big fan of the Defender and we love the 90. So we're just looking at it all, and it's part, hopefully it will help someone repair, help you understand your car, how it's made and how it works, which is all really good. So right, there's 3 bits I've taken out, I haven't videoed. So there are 3 little fir tree fixings, 1, 2, 3. We've got those. Now there's 2 more here we will need to remove. So while I've got the tool in my hand, I will show you. And apparently this is for the mild hybrid cooling duct. So there we go. So let me just show you those. How's the light looking, Zach? Is it all good? All good. Yeah. So there's 2 of those. Right, we'll take that out. Right, now there's actually 2 bolts down in here, but let's do the seat belts. Now, so this whole frame here, you can hear it, this bit goes up here and across there, like an L, and we're going to take that out. But we can't take it out because these 2 seat belt brackets are just going to restrict us. So they're going to come out. Right, here we go. Okay, so that's the nut. That was a bit noisy. I'll try and turn that down in the editing. Right, now obviously we have got some, though this is going to tell you whether the seatbelt is plugged in or not, and they're important. You can see we've got one there and one here. For the minute I'll probably just remove the, they're again on fir tree fixings in the back. You got like 1 location lug and 1 fir tree. There you go, it's all, and the connector just slides onto that. So I could have slid it off, but we'll take that off. I'm gonna unplug it for now. We may reconnect that later. All right. And likewise, the other one there looks tricky to get to. We might do that later when the boot floor's out. So we'll put that to one side. Right, then the other one we've got here. Okay. And again, that connector's well down in there, so we'll leave that. Right, so there's the 2, the same nut, flange nut. Right, now what we'll have a go at doing is let's have a go. Now you won't be able to see this too well. Oh, there we go. We got a view on that, haven't we? So what have we got in the floor here? We've got a polystyrene under tray, which is quite good for insulation. We got some ducting here. Right, let's get that. So what was this one, Zach? Oh, it's 15, wasn't it? We love the old Milwaukee, but he's a bit noisy, isn't he? Right, so that's that. And you can see this all this sort of structure here puts all the force down into one point there. And we'll do the same over here as well. Okay, so there's the second one of those. You can see that there. Right, so I think now the only thing holding this tub in is this plate, these bolts at the back. So let's whoop those bolts out. Now, I will do a note of caution. So ours is the mild hybrid. So we do have a lithium battery under the floor here, but it's 48 volts, which is considered sort of high voltage. It's not the voltages you would get on the Tesla or anything, but do be careful. And any high voltage cables are orange. Although one of the orange cables is actually for the 240 volt inverter. Now we do have the battery disconnected, so let's have a check. So you can see there the earth terminal is disconnected. So we are doing this, we have taken the required precautions. And I have done my EV working done my level 1 and level 2 EV vehicle qualifications. Right, I'll undo that one, that one, that one, and that one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 along the back. Right, so here we go. It looks like this is loose now. So it did say in the workshop manual. I have also read the Land Rover workshop manual on this, so we should better lift this out. It's just catching on something. Just there we go. So we'll take that out and have a look at that. But that's the main sort of frame out. We'll lift this out the car and then we'll come back and we'll have a look at, there we go, there's the 48 volt. Oh, I'm excited already. There's the 48 volt hybrid system, and I suspect the battery's under here, and I think this is the cooling duct. So make sure that gets put back on. You can see this is the top of the suspension strut, and this I think is to do with the dynamic suspension, where it can change the rate the shock absorber works at. So that's all looking. There is a lot of room under here though. There's like this whole space here. You could get another battery in there, because look how high. This, I believe, with this orange lead here, don't go touching orange, this I think is the inverter for the 240 volt power outlet. So there we go. That's all good. Right, let's have a look at this outside. Right, so there is that frame. You can see that is the frame. You've got, that's interesting, isn't it? They've taken a square frame there and done some sort of flattening it out to cause, what is rattling? There's something rattling. What is rattling there? Is it? We could, look, is that? Is it that? Is it those two plates there? We might put some sealant on that when I put it back together, just to, but there we go, they've obviously put the holes in here, I guess, for cooling, maybe, weight reduction. It'll also give you some rigidity, won't it? Because you've created a sort of corrugation. I'm talking to Zach, he's doing his apprenticeship. So, right then, let's get back inside and have a look. Right, so there we go, so that's it. We're just looking at some interesting things here. It looks like this is the main connector, and it looks like that's going out the rear floor pan, which I guess must go to the front, to the starter alternator thing. So this looks like a splitter from the battery to the output, and there's probably an inverter somewhere. I suspect there's an inverter here that converts the 48 volts to 12 volts to feed the main battery. I suspect I've got to understand more about the hybrid system and how it works. Zach spotted something. So bear in mind, this is the first time we've taken that off. I don't know if you can see that there, but there's a massive footprint there. So there we go. Obviously in the assembly line, they got size 10s. So there we go. So we've got that, but everything else is looking good. Right, next job we've got to do, enough waffling, we've got to work out how to take out this. So it looks like, if you can reach over here, Zach, looks like there's some big nuts under here, perhaps a couple, can't see to the back there. So we'll get the tools ready, and I think we're going to have to take the boot floor out. Now, this rear aluminium part, it looks like it's bolted on here. So let's take the boot floor out, and let's join you at the rear, and we'll see what we need to do next. Right, let's get this boot floor up. Let's get rid of this. Ooh. Put that under there. Right, now this, let's take the jack out just to get rid of the weight. Put that neatly underneath. Now this boot floor, which way does it go? I think it comes, bring it towards you, and that lifts up. Now we were wondering, there's a lot of wasted space in this, and Zach and I have been toying with making a vacuum form tray, because everything basically that's polystyrene here is space that we've got taken up that we're not getting any advantage from. Right, so let's have a look. So we've got these big, so we've got the compressor here. We can see these are the main battery terminals. We're keeping away from all that, that's fine. Right, looks like we've got a big ramming bit of sponge in here. And there we go, there's the bolt we're looking for, Zach, there. Now it's just how we take this out. So where were those? Look, we've got those two Allen head bolts there. So we could maybe take this out. It might be easier to take this. Look, we've got to get into there. Look, those, Zach. That's going to be a bit tricky. Do you reckon we can just reach in that? Or should we just leave it on there and take it all out in a oneer? Might be easier. We'll have a look. Right, so we've got the boot floor out. So now what I'm going to do is disconnect these connectors here. Okay, so there we go. And luckily, look, they've coloured these in. Nice colour coding for me. And we're going to have to disconnect all the wiring from the... We've got this one here. Okay, so if I disconnect... Now these might slide out of here, but because I need them on the... Alright, that's that one out. There goes that. And that's that one. And then this second one here, it's got 2 grips on it. You've got this sort of reasonable. I need to get behind there. That should have that one there for you there, Zach. That's the other one. Okay, right, so now let's get, so we've got so the loom is split into 2. You've got this half that feeds in from here and this half that feeds in from here. So let's start at the very end of this one. I'm just going to take these clips off. There's some in here. Okay, I've got that white one under there. Okay, so you can start to see we're just going to unpick the loom all the way along. Right, I'll finish this. I think you can see where I need to record enough so I can put it back together. Right, where does that one go? That one goes around here. Right, I'll do this on the other side. Right, we've swapped sides again. You'll be getting dizzy by the... Right, so we're going to undo these. We've undone them. Can you look in there, Zach? So there's one on this side as well. So let's get those. Luckily, they're not nylocks, so they spin off easy. There we go. That's those 2 off. I can't remember what size they were. Can you remember what size they were, Zach?
15.
15. Right, let's put those somewhere safe. Right, and then again we've got two more on here. It's starting to get loose now. And then we can get this cross member out. Now I don't think this cross member has anything to do with rigidity. The guy Rob was saying he looked up on the parts catalog and the commercial doesn't have anything. And obviously the commercial is structurally rigid. You can see here, this is where all the strength, the shock absorbers are coming up here. And this is what all this gives the Defender its superb rigid frame, is all this multiple sheets of metal all compressed. It really is quite a rigid structure. Right, so let's have a look. How heavy is this? Is it a 2-man lift? Let's have a look. Don't want to damage anything. We're going red in the face up. Right, there we go. That is the Crossmember complete. There we go. So yeah, we'll have a look, and we'll have a look at this sort of manufacturing issue we've got with it. We've got it out. Let's go and have a look. Right, this is the rear crossmember out. One thing I wanted to show you, it was the clever little mechanism. So the seats are held in with this little clever mechanism, and it locks it in, and you sort of have to get it here. You put the seat in, and as you put it in, it goes up like this and locks it so it can't come out, which is really clever. I like that. So that is a chunk of steel, isn't it? That is a monstrous chunk of steel. Right, what else? What else? Let's just have a final look in the back. I think we'll wrap that video up then, Zach. So there we go. So that is the back of a 90 with no seats, no side panels, and no cross member in. We are going to put the frame back in and the boot floor and see what it would take to make a sort of, and we'll have to put the sides back on as well, a flat floor conversion for people that want that.